Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right, let's get back to responding to a lot of your comments, because some of you guys have some good questions, and some of you guys made some good statements. So let's go ahead and give you credit for it, shall we? I did this video saying deleting zeros off the Iraqi dinar. This was in response to Nader's video that he made. So let's start over here. It says, what Nader said is true. What did he say? Actually, nothing on there that I could think of that he said was true. What part is true? Nader contradicted himself against the video that he played. The video tells you that a 1,000 dinar becomes a 1 dinar. And he said, no, the 1,000 dinar, you get 1,000 dinars. That doesn't make no sense. In country and out of Iraq are two different scenarios. What do you mean two different scenarios? There's no two different scenarios. Once you change the exchange rate, it goes worldwide. There's no two different scenarios, period. So what do you mean by that? Be more detailed. Two different scenarios. Explain what the two scenarios are. Exactly. I don't know how you can understand what that means, but okay. I have heard that other countries' people are walking out with debt cards with money on it. I'll just wait to see how you do it, Pimpy, because we have about the same amount. Looking forward to seeing what the Vietnam Dong goes for. Thanks for an update. You're very welcome. The exchange rate hasn't changed, so I'm not sure what the debit card's going to do, but very interesting that they now have debit cards. It doesn't change what currently is the exchange rate. There goes Kevin. Pimpy, do you remember back some time ago when you told us to invest in certain banks in Russia and you gave it ticker symbols? Why I invested? You're very welcome. And I think I responded to this one before, but just in case, you're very welcome. And I'm glad you were able to get some gains there. So buy Iraqi dinar was not the thing to do. Got it. I wouldn't say it's not the thing to do. I'm just telling people, look, you guys better wake up to the fact there could be another scenario that happens. Actually, the probability of what I'm saying is most likely going to happen. What you're hoping for is that they change the exchange rate without deleting the zeros. So you know what I say is, look, if you buy Iraqi dinar, just put it to the side. When it's time to exchange it, you'll know what the exchange rate is. You go in there and make your exchange happen. And Cheryl says, more or less, their new currency. Correct. Yeah, well, if they're going to delete the zeros off their currency, which is the banknotes, they're coming off the banknotes, that's a redenomination. So a 25,000 dinar now becomes a 25 dinar. And it will look different than the banknotes that are currently out there. That's what a redenomination is. Okay, this makes more sense, but if the Iraqi government do something like they deleted the zeros and devalue the 25,000 banknote down to 25, in my opinion, this will hurt the trust of Iraqi government because they allowed the sale of the Iraqi dinar, understanding that this was an option in recuperation towards the Iraqi government economy. Okay, a couple of things. The Iraqi people don't give a shit if you bought their currency and invested in it. It doesn't look bad on them. The Iraqi government didn't make any promises about the Iraqi dinar. Not at all. There's plenty of people out there telling you that this is a scam and explaining why it's a scam. So if you took that gamble, that's on you. So I wouldn't call it a devaluing because they're not devaluing. All they're doing is changing the way the banknotes look. So instead of 25,000 dinar, you now have a 25 dinar. That's the nominal value. That's just the way the note looks. It'll look something like this. This is an old note, but I'm just showing you. A 25,000 will now become a 25, and you'll have a 25 dinar like this. So it's not being devalued, it's still the same. So right now, the exchange rate on 25,000 dinar is 0.00076. If you multiply that 25,000 times that 0.00076, you get $19. So when they delete the 3 zeros off the banknotes, like you see here, and you get a 25, they're going to take the 3 zeros off that exchange rate. So now it's going to be 25 times 0.76, which comes out to $19. So the value of the dinar stays the same, but the banknote nominal value is the thing that's going to change. Thank you, Pimpy. No good. Means our notes are worthless. Well, I wouldn't say worthless. Now, keep in mind, we don't know what the hell Iraq's going to do. So I just say hold on to them. Keep your fingers crossed that they leave the zeros on there and change the exchange rate. The probability is not high, but you never know. So just hang tight and let's see what happens. Thank you, Pimpy. You're very welcome. Wow, these people. Thank you, Pimpy. You're very welcome. Yeah, I mean, I can tell sometimes when there's a new batch of people that are getting involved because they'll make the same comments or have the same questions. That's fine. I don't mind. Well, that would mean that a $10,000 Federal Reserve note would be $10, right? Federal Reserve note? No, we're talking about the Iraqi dinar. A 10,000 Iraqi dinar would be then a 10 dinar if they delete the zeros. Not a Fed note. The Federal Reserve note is our money, not their money. So if Iraq is doing the same thing the United States did when a $10,000 note cost you $10,000 to obtain it, it does in the United States. I'm not sure where we're going with this. We're not talking about the US dollars. We're talking about the Iraqi dinar. They're talking about removing their zeros, not the United States. Be pimpy rich. Thank you. You're very welcome. Why does everybody have to multitask when making a video? Nader makes the video, then drives to Walmart. Not at the same time. Why? I don't know what he does. I mean, maybe that's his free time to make his video. I mean, at least he's getting it out there. You know what I mean? Pimpy is wrong. Pimpy's never wrong. I can't tell you how many times I've challenged listeners as well as content creators. At one time, I was saying, look, if you can prove me wrong, I'll give you $10,000. Not one single content creator took me up on it. Not once. That should tell you everything you need to know about the information you're getting from them. When one of them wouldn't kind of go, hey, I could prove you wrong, Pimpy, and then try to do it. Nobody ever did that. Nobody knows anything about the Iraqi dinar. What makes a YouTuber an expert on dinar? They're guessing just like the next guru. No, I'm not guessing. I'm educated on it. I personally think the dinar will be 76 cents. They will give people a few months to cash in. If you don't, then you'll be ass out. Once they get in all the currencies off the street, then it will go up to a higher rate. I also can be absolutely wrong. Close. It will be 76 cents, but that's when they delete the zeros off, because right now it's 0.00076 with the 25,000 dinar. They have the 3 zeros on there. So once they remove those zeros off the banknote, they're also going to remove it off that exchange rate. So it will become 76 cents. So are you hearing they are dropping the zeros and printing new bills before the RV? I have not heard anything about printing new bills. That's easy to assume if they're talking about the deletion of the zeros. That is called a redenomination. In order for that to happen, they would have to print new currency. See what I'm saying? But I don't think that's going to happen. They're pushing really hard to get into the central bank digital currency. So I don't think they want to waste their money even messing with banknotes. They want to go 100% cashless. That's another thing I was telling people I was worried about. So if they increase the value compared to the dollar, for instance, say the exchange rate goes from 1 dinar worth $3, then my once 25,000 dinar, now 25, would exchange for $75. What are you saying here? Yes, I see what you're doing here. So once they delete the zeros, yes, your 25,000 now becomes 25. And if it's an exchange rate of 3 to 1, yes, you're right. So just put 3 times 25, your 25 dinar would now be worth $75. That's correct. No, Pimpy's not wrong. You keep saying that. This person says it all the time, but never proves me wrong. Just turn around and saying, oh, somebody's wrong, and then not being able to prove it. You have to prove it. Nobody's ever been able to prove me wrong. Not at all. And that sounds very wrong how Nader is explaining it. No, he contradicted himself. I mean, if you listen to the video, the person in there tells you a 1,000 dinar becomes a 1 dinar. That is the deletion of the zeros. And then he turned around and said, you're going to be able to exchange 1,000 dinars for 1,000 dinars, which made no sense. Did Kuwait delete the zeros before or after the revaluation of their currency? Kuwait did not have to delete any zeros. They never printed inflated dollars. They never had to add zeros to their currency. It was only a temporary thing that had happened. So they never deleted their zeros. Because I think they suspended the Kuwait dinar. I think it was a total of 4 months, 5 months maybe. And then once the United States kicked them out, they just redenominated their currency. They printed new bills and went right back to the exchange rate. So there was no need to add zeros to it. They add zeros to the currency when inflation is really high. Remember, Saddam Hussein was printing out Iraqi dinar like it was candy. That's another reason why there were so many zeros on there. So Kuwait never had to delete no zeros. Pimp, in the USA, 25,000 will be 25,000. In Iraq, it'll be 5. What the hell are you talking about? Do you get it, Pimp? No, I have no idea what you're talking about. So it's not going to be one way for the United States and one way for Iraq, you guys. You got to understand that when you're dealing with exchange rates, it's global because people are making trade with them. So there's no in-country rate, out-of-country rate. It's the same, period. Once they make that change, that's what happens. You're not going to be able to change your 25,000 dinar for 25,000 dinars. That's not going to happen. They're going to go, oh, you have a 25,000 dinar and we just deleted zeros? No problem. We'll exchange your 25,000 dinar for a 25 dinar. That's what's going to happen. I don't know where you got the 5 from, but interesting. Appreciate you chiming in. 5B and 1 times now. What? I'm not sure what that means, but okay. I can usually appreciate your perspective, but I think you're 100% wrong on this one. I'm never wrong. Pimpy's never wrong. Nader is an importer-exporter that lives in Iraq. No, he lives here in the United States. He might just have a better grasp on the subject. Actually, no, he doesn't. Nobody in the Dinar community has a better grasp on the Iraqi dinar than I do. I keep welcoming other content creators onto my channel to try to prove me wrong. They never step forward. Never, never, never. You got to ask yourself, why is that? Because they get their ass kicked in a debate. That's why. What you're saying is complete theft of the dinar. Is a dinar meaning 0.76 per dinar? What do you mean theft of the dinar? How is it a theft of the dinar? There's no theft there. This is better for the Iraqi people. Makes it easier for accounting situations. And you don't have to carry so many bills. Less bills in their pocket. So there's no theft because they don't lose anything. The nominal value is the only thing that changes. So instead of on a 25,000 dinar, you get a 25. That doesn't hurt the Iraqi people because exchange rate's the same. Whether it's 25,000 times 0.00076 or it's 25 times 0.76. Both are 19. They don't lose anything. They have the same purchasing power. So there's no theft. There's nothing being lost to the Iraqi people. And what makes you think it's not going to happen? It wouldn't tank their economy. It would empower their value and purchasing power. No. If you can imagine how many people around the world heard the same stories as you guys did and bought Iraqi dinar. And you imagine all those inflated dollars come rushing back into that country. Yeah, that would not be good. That would seriously, seriously devalue their currency. Even more than it is. Too many dollars. Supply and demand. So if they turn around and take the scenario that you're doing, that all of a sudden you get $3.22 for 25,000 dinar, making people super rich. You know how many people are going to flood Iraq with their currency? No, that's not going to happen. Not in any way, shape, or form. Just like Kuwait, yes, different scenario and country, but same concept. Just like other countries that have revalued. Well, okay, let me ask you something. Name a country that has revalued their currency in which they kept all the zeros on there. So you guys got to understand something. Never, ever, ever in the history of revaluing a currency, you're talking about a 4,000% increase in value. 4,000 from where it is right now. So if you take it from where the currency is right now, the Iraqi dinar, from 0.00076, and then you increased it all the way to $3.22, you know what the increase is? I said 4,000% increase in value. So have you ever heard of any currency that hasn't increased that much? Never. You guys keep making a comparison to Kuwait, which is wrong. The only thing that's similar between them is their currency got devalued. That was it. There's no other similarities. People forget that Kuwait had a sovereign fund that helped them get through all the bullshit. They didn't have inflated currency like Iraq did. I love how you guys call me negative. This is funny. Sometimes I think your negativity about this subject gets the best of you. No, there's no negativity about it. This is truth. You guys just don't like the truth. You guys are the one taking it as negative because you don't like what I'm saying. There's no negative about it. I mean, I've seen all kinds of people out there that really blasted Dinar. Like, this is a scam. You guys are getting ripped off. That's being negative. You guys are dumb. You guys shouldn't have spent your money on it. You're never going to get it back. It's a scam. You guys got ripped off. That's being negative. There's plenty of YouTubers out there that talk that way. I'm telling you guys the truth. That's not being negative for the 157,000th time. That's just telling you the truth. Just because you don't like it, don't make it negative. Nader is right. Pimp is wrong. Wrong. Prove it. Just don't say it. Prove it. Where is your proof? I always show you my receipts. I've done it a million times. You should just buy crypto. You would have already been a rich guy. The dinar is bullshit. See, that's being negative right there. What are you doing here? Giving his opinion, man. That's just it. So you're saying there is no difference with in-country zero removal and out-of-country value? No, guys, no. Because think about this. Let's just pretend it's one rate in-country. They get a lot more money for the Iraqi people. Yay! And it's a lower rate outside of the country. People inside the country would take their money, go buy their own currency outside of the country, come back into the country and exchange and get more money. Does that make sense? So people are getting rich, running back and forth between out of their country and into their country. Is that what you're trying to say? There's going to be two different rates? There's not. Me think that you're the one that's misunderstanding. No, there's no misunderstanding. Show me where I'm wrong. I keep telling you guys, I proved it. I showed you guys paperwork. I showed you guys studies. I showed you guys history. I showed you guys everything. I brought the receipts. Nobody's bringing receipts. Just your opinion. My opinion is based on facts, based on education, based on things that economists are talking about. Where is your information? If nothing more, you should get 2.5 times the 19 US dollars at least if we are wrong. What? And the most you can get is 25K US dollars per 25K Iraqi dinar, 1 for 1. Jeez. Again, even if it goes 1 for 1, all right, let's just take a look at this. If the exchange rate goes 1 for 1, it's going to be over 1,000% increase in value. You're not going to see that. Not even if it's 1 for 1, that's not going to happen. Let me know if you want to come on. I welcome anybody to come aboard and try to prove me wrong. You can't. Here's one better. Why don't you try to find a content creator that'll actually come on my channel and debate me about this? Trust me, there's a lot of people out there that would love to prove me wrong. They would have the honor of saying that I proved Pimpy wrong, but they won't because they can't. The comments on this video sound mad thirsty. Yeah, a little bit. Why are you so worried about who's on my channel? Look at the money. Anyways, look, I do appreciate you guys chiming in. It's a good way for you guys to learn things. But no, I'm not wrong. If you can find somebody out there that can actually come on and prove me wrong, please, by all means, invite them. I'll have them on my show. I don't have a problem with it. I would love to hear what they have to say. Whether it's in country, out of country, whether they're going to be like Kuwait and have the same exchange rate, whether or not Iraq is going to change their exchange rate to 322. I look forward to anybody's challenge. This will be interesting. I've been saying this for years now, you guys. For years. Anybody want to come on and challenge me once again? Somebody want to debate me? I don't have a problem with it. I don't. Prove me wrong. Anyways, that's it for now. I'll catch you later. I'm out.